I'm Casey Adams, and I'm with Tinkergarden, but I'm also a mom and just active user of Tacoma with my kids. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the public green spaces that we have here in Tacoma, how awesome they are, and how they can be even better. And I feel like, I don't know, after hearing you talk, I'm ready to sign my kids up, even though they're only this big. So I hope I can be as interesting and engaging as you. But I started off as a public school teacher here in Tacoma. And as a public school teacher, I knew about the stuff that we had here in Tacoma, but I didn't really, in fact, hi Ann, I just saw you, now I'm really nervous. Ann is my principal, my old principal, not old, but my former principal when I was a public school teacher. And so as a public school teacher, I knew about the resources in Tacoma. I could tell parents about those resources, but I hadn't really experienced them. I left the public school arena when I had my first child, and that really threw me into looking for all of the amazing things that we needed to do in Tacoma. So this is my daughter and my son, and I'm proud to say that they are outside all day, every day, rain or shine. And I joined Tinkergarden because it's a company that I can really get behind. The philosophy is that all children, no matter their abilities, their income, their background, their family life, deserve to use our public spaces and to just love them. So I like it so much. I only teach Tinkergarten one day a week, but I actually have started an outdoor preschool as well, because Tacoma just has so much going for it that one day a week isn't enough to get out there. So there's so much research supporting getting kids outside into those public community spaces, not just the private ones. Lower crime, better mental health, shared ownership. One of the things that I find most amazing about getting kids in these public spaces is it's a neutral space when we first go into it. So when we go down to a park, we don't have kids fighting over, these are my toys. It becomes our park together. So we're both new to this place. We both take ownership. And it just builds this beautiful community. And when we can start with little kids and just see that grow, and it brings their families together as well. Promotes healthy risk-taking and environmental stewardship, and that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about is this environmental stewardship. Being out in our parks, being out in our public green spaces, I see a lot of kind of bad things that happens when people don't care about our public spaces. And so if I can encourage kids to grow up to be caring citizens who are going to take care of our spaces, that's just really important. So we bring families into the parks, into the green spaces. We help them feel like this is their space. What can you do with this space to protect it? What can you do with this space to grow it? And it's, everybody comes out the first day of Tinkergarten and they say, okay, well, what do we do if it's raining? Is class canceled? And I say, no, we enjoy the rain because we live in the Pacific Northwest, and the parks are packed on a beautiful sunny Saturday. But Wednesday at 10 in the morning when it's pouring down rain, nobody's there. And it's a shame because it's awesome in the rain. And if you just are wearing the right clothing, go stomp in some puddles. So we work with tinkering, teaching children how to build things and solve problems. So you can see here, we've got this pulley system. And I had this box of hidden treasure that the children had found after following these clues. And I'd set it up in a tree simply to keep my own kid out of it. And I'd forgotten to take it down. Well, the kids came, and this is a group of 3- and 4-year-olds, a couple 2-year-olds thrown in, and they had to figure out how to get this box down. And not one of them asked an adult to take the box out of the tree, even though it was obviously reachable. They worked together, collaboratively, to figure out what to do. And the first thing they tried didn't work. And instead of giving up and saying, Mom, get the box out of the tree, they tried something else. and they tried something else again. And they did this until they were able to, all of them together, pick up this huge branch and knock the box out of the tree. And it was just so powerful to see these little people really come together as people. Now, Tacoma is an awesome place to be if you're a parent, because we have something to do every single day of the week. You've got the Children's Museum, you've got Play to Learn, you've got Library Story Time, you've got the Link, which is a fabulous and free thing to just ride around. You've got the zoo, especially with the new aquarium, and our Parks Department is spectacular. They're very responsive. I've been working closely with the Parks Department, especially focused on Franklin Park, which is near my house, on trying to get it more family-friendly, more accessible. Because it's this cycle. The more families you have in parks, the less desirable elements you have in the parks, and the fewer less desirable elements, the more families, and so it can just build up and become a better place. So we can make it even better. We can have more walkable neighborhood parks. There's so many people who don't have access to just getting in the car and driving to a park. So how can we make sure that there are lots of buses that go there, that you can fit your stroller on, that have a stop right there, sidewalks so that we can walk safely to the parks. And having a little park in every neighborhood. It doesn't even have to be a park. An empty lot that is there, that is wilderness, that is green space. Doesn't have to be freshly manicured. In fact, kind of the rough and tumble stuff is better for imaginative play. And let children really own their neighborhood. And it's just amazing kind of what happens when a child and when their family kind of take ownership there. One of the things I've really been struggling with in my neighborhood parks are the needles, the trash, the stolen items, the human waste. I get this big group of kids out to the park, and then I say, I'm sorry, I can't let you go into this part. I can't let you go into the woods because I'm finding needles there, and I'm finding latrines. And I know that that's a societal problem that we're having right now. That's not something that, we just need to call the Parks Department and get that cleaned up. But it's something that as a community, I feel like we can all come together and let's try to solve these problems. What can we do so that we're not having our children play in these areas, so that families can feel safe coming to the park, experiencing nature, using those public green spaces? Because when you have things like this, people don't want to come. And when people don't come to the park, more of that happens. So I don't have the answer for that. Some things that I do feel like are within our realm of control. Water fountains. My neighborhood park doesn't have a water fountain. It has a spray ground. And during the summer, when we had some of those really hot days, there was no place for people to get water. And that really surprised me. Toilet facilities that are open year-round. Again, at my neighborhood park, they close them in the winter as soon as the spray ground goes off. And that's when you start seeing even more human waste in the park because people have to go. So those are some things that we can take care of. Shelters. I don't know if anybody has spent a lot of time in some of the parks in University Place, but their little picnic shelters are pretty great. A lot of people are timid about experiencing our parks in the rain, and having these shelters that are more than just a roof, something that has a little more enclosure, I found is a really great way to entice people out into the park and then kind of let them ease out and into their comfort zone. So just some things. We have amazing things in the parks in Tacoma. This is an owl pellet that I found in Franklin Park. So we have this wildlife, and it's amazing, and we just need to get kids out there. We need to get families out there. So that's all I have to say, but go explore your green spaces and become passionate about them and take care of them.